At the start of the film, we meet a couple, Andy and Kay, and their baby daughter Rosie. The world has been destroyed by a virus that turns people into zombies within 48 hours. To survive, they live on a houseboat in the Australian wilderness. One evening, while looking for a safe place to stay, Andy sees two children playing by the river. He waves at them, but their father spots him and points a gun, forcing Andy to move on. The family usually gets food from the river because they're too scared to go on land. Later, Kay tells Andy that their food is running out and insists they must go inland to find supplies. Andy disagrees, afraid of what's waiting for them there. Soon after, Andy finds an abandoned sailboat near the shore and decides to check it out. Inside, he gathers food and a bottle of wine, but hears strange noises from behind a closed door. Fearing danger, he quickly returns to his boat. When he gives the food to Kay, she's unsure if it's safe, but Andy reassures her that everything is fine. That night, Kay asks Andy to rest while she goes to the sailboat herself, hoping to find more supplies. Unaware of the danger Andy had sensed earlier, she entered the boat. Suddenly, something attacks and bites her. Later, Andy wakes up to Rosie crying and goes to look for Kay. He finds blood on the floor and discovers her in the bathroom trying to stop the bleeding. She has a deep bite on her knee. Kay looks through a backpack Andy brought from the sailboat and finds a bracelet that shows how long an infected person has before turning into a zombie. There's also an injection meant to ease the transition and reduce pain. Andy and Kay talk about what to do next and face the painful truth that she's infected. After an emotional conversation, they decide to leave the houseboat and search for medical help. In another scene, we meet Thumi, a young Aboriginal girl, who is drawing in her notebook. She throws a dead rabbit into a hole and hears strange gurgling sounds, covering her ears in fear. It seems she's feeding something hidden below. Meanwhile, Andy and Kay find a car and narrowly escape a zombie while driving away. After some time, they stop so Andy can check the map and Kay can change Rosie's diaper. Suddenly, Kay collapses and starts vomiting blood. Andy rushes to help her, realizing the infection is spreading fast. At the same time, Thumi is shown throwing a snake into the hole again, but this time she hears nothing back. Elsewhere, Kay wakes up and checks her wound, now leaking yellow fluid. Angry and scared, she yells at Andy for hiding the truth about her infection. She fears she might hurt Rosie. Andy calms her down and convinces her to keep moving with him. To make sure she doesn't run away again, he breaks the car's door handles so she can't leave. As Andy drives down the road, he gets distracted by a strange man standing ahead. Before he can react, the car crashes into a tree. Hours later, Andy wakes up, dizzy and injured. He tries to wake Kay, but she has already turned into a zombie, her lips and eyes filled with yellow pus. Terrified, Andy tries to grab Rosie and escape, but Kay bites him before he manages to get away. Desperate, Andy injects Kay with one of the serums to ease her pain and then prepares to continue the journey on foot. He puts Kay's timer bracelet on himself and straps Rosie to his back. Rosie cries, missing her mother, but Andy soothes her with Kay's perfume. While resting, Andy comes across the strange man who caused their crash. He realizes the man is now a zombie and gets ready to defend himself. Suddenly, Thumi appears and distracts the zombie, who turns out to be her father. She begs Andy not to hurt him and cuts her own hand with a rock, using the blood to lure her father away. Later, Andy finds an old school and meets Etta, a retired teacher. She helps clean his wounds and tells him that all the Aboriginal people, including her former students, have already left the area. She offers him shelter for the night. That evening, Andy sees a fire burning nearby, likely made by the Aboriginals, and notices a woman trying to reach Thumi. During the night, Andy suffers his first seizure from the infection. He vomits blood and faints. In the morning, Etta finds him awake and warns him that the infection is spreading. She advises him to find Thumi's father, Willie, who could take care of Rosie after he's gone. She also warns him to stay away from the Aboriginals because they kill anyone who's infected. Andy sets off again with Rosie. While stopping to give her water near some ruins, he suddenly notices zombies nearby with their heads buried in the dirt. One of them lifts its head and chases him. Andy runs and finds a car, but before he can drive off, a man named Vic saves him by shooting the zombie. Vic is trapped under a heavy tank and asks Andy to help free him, offering the car keys in return. Andy agrees and helps lift the tank. The two escape in the car together, speeding away from danger. Vic takes Andy to his safe hideout, an old gas plant where he used to work. His wife, Lorraine, seems surprised but quiet when she sees Andy and Rosie. Vic tells Andy to leave the baby with Lorraine while they go hunting. He explains that he kills zombies and takes their valuables, believing money will still matter once the world recovers. While there, Andy discovers Vic is keeping live people in cages to use as bait for zombies. Shocked, Andy also sees that one of the captives is Thumi. Furious at Vic's cruelty, Andy starts planning a way to free her. Inside the shelter, Lorraine takes care of Rosie and tries to make her smile. While doing so, she notices a strange yellow slime on the baby's belly. Meanwhile, Vic and Andy go outside to another cage, where Vic uses blood, organs, and a radio to attract zombies. Watching this cruel act makes Andy uneasy. When they return, Lorraine talks briefly about cleaning up Rosie. Later, Andy plays with Rosie before putting her to sleep in a small cradle. His hand suddenly starts twitching, signs that he's turning. Realizing he doesn't have much time and that Rosie is safe with Lorraine, Andy walks outside, intending to end his life. Before he can do it, Lorraine finds him and reveals the truth: she isn't Vic's wife. Vic actually saved himself by abandoning her real husband and other workers to die at the gas plant. While they're talking, Vic suddenly appears and knocks Andy unconscious with his rifle. When Andy wakes up, he's locked inside a cage with Thumi. He asks her to help him escape. Andy comes up with a plan. He ties Bloody Guts to a rope to attract zombies. When the zombies pull on it, the door breaks open and they both escape. They rush back to the shelter and convince Lorraine to come with them. As they try to flee, Vic spots them and starts shooting. Lorraine steps out to stop him, but he accidentally shoots her, killing her instantly. Andy and Thumi run away, hiding for the night in a small gorge. They remove their chains and finally rest. In the middle of the night, Thumi wakes up to strange breathing. She hides with Rosie as Andy, losing control, rubs his face against bloody walls. The next morning, Thumi and Andy talk about her father. Andy gently tells her that her father may never get better, which makes Thumi angry. She storms off and soon finds her father hanging from a tree, dead. Andy tries to comfort her but fails and walks away, heartbroken. Andy's infection gets worse. Realizing his time is running out, he tries burying his head in the dirt, imitating the other zombies. Thumi, crying near the tree, hears Rosie crying and runs to save her. When Andy wakes up again, Thumi decides to help him reach the river so Rosie can survive. Together, they travel by motorboat to a campsite where Andy had once seen a family. They find an RV but it's empty. Andy looks for the family and eventually finds the father, who has been bitten and infected. The man shows Andy his gun and explains there are 6 bullets, 4 for his family and 2 for Andy to keep. Andy pleads with him not to do it, but the man refuses. As Andy walks away, he hears 4 gunshots in the distance. After the shots stop, Andy takes the man's gun. He sits quietly, thinking about ending his own life. Thumi soon appears, saying she's ready to return home and urges him to come so he can give Rosie to her people. They follow a trail of smoke in the distance. As they move through a dark train tunnel, Vic suddenly appears again. Thumi hides with Rosie inside an old truck while Andy tries to distract him. Andy fires several shots but misses. A fight breaks out. Vic drags Thumi from the truck and slams her head on the rail, knocking her down. He then grabs Rosie. Barely standing, Andy checks on Thumi, who's still alive, and then finds Vic holding Rosie. Andy sits beside him and begs for his daughter back. Vic, grieving Lorraine's death, finally gives Rosie to him. The 3 continue their journey together. As they near their destination, Andy's transformation speeds up. Knowing he'll soon lose control, he begs Thumi to promise she'll care for Rosie. He says goodbye, ties a guard over his mouth, binds his hands, and attaches a piece of meat to a stick in front of him. As his eyes close, he fully turns into a zombie, but even without his mind, he keeps walking, carrying both children on his back, drawn by the meat. They finally reach the Aboriginal camp. The warriors capture Andy, while Thumi and Rosie are welcomed by her mother. One warrior raises his spear to kill Andy, but Thumi stops him. She sprays Kay's perfume one last time, and the scent briefly brings Andy's humanity back. He realizes Rosie is safe and calms down. Then Thumi nods, and the warrior ends Andy's suffering. In the final scene, the Aboriginal people arrive at a safe shelter and are welcomed by their tribe. Thumi and her mother check on Rosie, who is healthy and smiling. On her tiny belly, they find the words, "Thank you," written in white paint, a final message from Andy.